Hello, welcome to the Blender logo animation project. In this project we are going to create the Blender logo animation that you just saw. In this lecture we will be modeling the Blender logo object. One little thing we have to do is to activate a add-on called TinyCut Mesh Tools. Later in the video I will show you where we will use this. We can search the add-on with the letters CAD in the search bar. You can find more information about this add-on via the documentation link. We can close the user preferences window and delete our default cube since we are not going to need it. We can change to front view with the numpad 0 key. We can open the properties with the N key and check background images. We can set the view to front view and click on Open to find and select the Blender logo image. Remember, you will probably have it saved in your download folder. After adding the logo image, we can center the image by changing the coordinates. To start the modeling process, we can add a circle mesh. We can change the amount of vertices of our circle to 80 and increase the radius to match the inner orange circle. We can also change the X rotation to 90 degrees. Then we can manually align the circle a bit better by moving it with the G hotkey or scaling it with the S hotkey. We can duplicate the circle with Shift D and scale it to match the outer orange ring. We can duplicate the circle again and place one at each end of the logo as shown. Remember, if you are unsure which hotkey was used or which mouse button was clicked, check the mouse icon on the bottom left. Now we can switch to edit mode with the tab key and duplicate one vertex and extrude it to make an edge or line. We can tweak the angle by rotating the edge with the R hotkey. We can duplicate it and place it on the other side. Make sure the edge align with the circle as shown in the video. We can then duplicate both edges and align them on the second and third part. You may need to scale the smaller circles a little to match it up. You can also scale it in edit mode. It does not really matter. Then we can select these two vertices and merge them via the Specials menu. We can do the same for the other side. Now we can select the two other small circle objects and merge them into one object with the last selected object with the Ctrl+J key. Then we can also merge the selected vertices as we did with the other small circle. Now we can merge all the selected mesh objects into one object with the Ctrl+J. We can also merge the selected vertices here. Then we can use the TinyCAD add-on to create a vertex where the selected edges cross each other. We can see that a vertex was created where the edges intersect. We can delete the two selected edges. We can also use the cat tool with the other selected edges as shown in the video. We can also delete the not needed edges. We can delete the not needed vertices with the circle selection tool, which you can activate with the C hotkey. Now we can select all the vertices with the A hotkey and extrude with the E hotkey. After we can move the extruded vertices. You can decide yourself on the width of the logo, but I think this looks good enough. Before continuing, you should use the Remove Doubles tool in edit mode, which you can access via the Specials menu. I forgot to show this in the video. Now we can select the edge that we used the cat tool before to create and apply a bevel on them. We can adjust the amount of bevel and the amount of segments here. I will give it 7 segments and increase the amount that the bevel does not cross another edge here. You can select all the vertices on the backside with Edge Loop Select with Alt plus right mouse button. Then we can deselect the amount as shown in the video. Now we can create a face with the selected vertices with the F hotkey. Now we can do the same for the front side of the mesh. We can close off the remaining openings by Edge Loop selecting the vertices and using the F hotkey. Now you can see our mesh is closed and watertight as well as almost finished in terms of the modeling part. To finish off, we get back into edit mode and select the faces on the front and back. We can only deselect the 4 edges as shown. Now, with only the shown edge loop selected, we can add a bevel on the selected loops. Remember, the bevel tool is in the specials menu. Remember to change the amount and segments here. This looks good enough. We can also set the shading type to smooth here. It seems we are getting some strange artifacts on our mesh here. We can resolve this by going back into edit mode and select the faces on the front and back side of the logo. Then we can inset the selected faces with the I hotkey, after which you can see a thin extra ring was created. This effectively solves the artifacts problem. We can use the same inset tool on the selected edge loops. So now we finished modeling the Blender logo. Congratulations! We can go into front view and align the camera with the front view as well using the Ctrl-Shift-0 hotkey. With the camera selected, we can reposition it so that it aligns more with the grid. We can also adjust our border render so that the logo fit inside the render border. Then we can enable Cycles Viewport Render and adjust our sun lamp to get some nice shot of our logo. Well, that was it for this lecture. I hope you learned something from this video. Of course, if you are an experienced Blender user, then you should have skipped this lecture. In the next lecture, we are going to create the material for our logo. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.